There's no way as a teacher you do not know what that noise is. Me working with juvenile delinquents and you working with kids at school, that little. That's the classic sound
all the time.
I would say it back to them.
No.
When the child says,
no,
you're gonna have to do this. I'd be like,
no. I would say to them, "Are you eating chicken?" And then the whole class would erupt in laughter. Right. So they stopped doing it after a while.
You got to do that little shoulder.
Is there some in your stuck in your teeth?
Dr. Bill.
Did you get that even at? No.
I wasn't talking about my students. These are clients. That's me working with juvenile delinquents. Places where I get that.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, yes, I don't get too much of that in college. Well, not too much. All right.
You gonna give me a clap?
Yes, I'm sorry. We just talking. You ready?
Yes.
I'm Timon.
And I'm Pumba.
Don't we have any gas? Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
We are the Joy RX. That ain't no passing phrase.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata.
Do you remember that at the end?
Hakuna Matata.
Get it. Listen, he was like, I'm not through. I'm not through.
Where we prescribe joy as a therapeutic tool.
Therapeutic tool.
All right. Joy for the week.
Joy for the week.
Do you know what your joy is?
Joy for the week.
I know what my joy is.
You go first.
I was at work. And Azure, my lion sister, she loves to call me dead in the middle. Azure has always never cared what I could possibly be doing. She calls me at any time of the day. I actually love it. I'm just like, this is the funniest thing to me, that you just unbothered. And she goes directly into her story. Well, anyway, we have been planning to go see some shows at the City Winery because we went to see Babyface and Anita Baker, and listen. It was a time.
Listen, I love City Winery just in general.
Yes,
it's a great venue.
Yes. So she sent me a list of people to see who I'd want to go see, and I gave her my top 3, and I said, now you put Peebo Bryson on here. And she said, yeah, girl, I just put that for shits and giggles, you know. And I said, let me tell you this story. And I want you to know I had a moment in my office so loud, and I was laughing so hard, I had to leave. I don't know if you know this. So, you know, back in 1991, they released Disney's The Beauty and the Beast. Mm-hmm. And you know how they had just started making these new movies, and so they decided that they would get superstars to sing the song on there, right?
Yeah.
And so they decided for Beauty and the Beast that they wanted this little-known superstar from Canada, Celine Dion, and no one knew her. Mm-hmm. So they said, I know, let's pair her. They literally said this. With someone major that everyone knows.
It was Peebo Bryson.
It was Peebo Bryson.
Did he sing also in Aladdin?
Oh, that is him.
A Whole New World?
Oh, then it's not. Then you just ruined my whole
I
joke.
ruined your story.
Who sang?
I'm a joy thief.
Wait a
I
second.
want to be like, Peebo Bryson was that popular with Disney?
No,
I can show you the world.
Oh my God, then who sang with her?
Now we got to just Google it real
James
quick.
Ingram.
Oh, wait a minute.
then that would make sense.
I love James.
Then that would, listen to me. Yamo be there. What is a Yamo be there? Do you know the Yamo be there is a gospel song?
You say that about almost any song.
No. I'm not saying I made that into a gospel. No. The lyrics say, then reach out and call his name. His name.
So is that God saying, Yamo be there?
Yamo be. That is God saying,
oh,
E-O.
I prefer thinking he's saying, Yamo be there. Just come on. Yeah. Timon.
I love the idea of God saying to you, Yamo be there.
Listen, Yamo be there. Why you keep turning around looking?
But it is actually a gospel. That's fine.
But you say it about so many.
I do. I also believe that about. Can you feel him? Can you feel him? Can you feel him? You cannot listen.
I think you can make anything into it.
Well,
regulate. I'm just gonna start throwing out stuff and make it a gospel song.
Regulators, mount up. It's a song for Pharaoh as they're coming. No, maybe not every song because it ain't no fun. We can't make that.
It's about to make somebody's turn cold. Now there's locusts and plagues. It's a tad bit late. You should have listened to Job and you should beg and lay.
You did it though.
Listen, I feel like you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna come back next week.
You're gonna
and
make it
I'm going to have the gospel version of "Ain't No Fun."
Listen, there's something to that. Listen, we can find that. Something about brotherhood, just sharing.
Mm-hmm. So you know what? This was my joy for the week.
I'm sorry, I was like, I really wasn't trying to ruin your story. I was like, oh my gosh, he was in more than one.
You're absolutely correct.
Wow, they really were celebrating people. He must have been something else, right? Goodness, did we sleep on people? Disney was like, we're not. You may not celebrate people, but daggone it, we are.
Well, I mean, let's think about this though.
That was huge.
They gave a song to. They gave only half a song to James.
I don't remember what song did they sing.
James Ingram is singing. Isn't he singing? What's the song from Beauty?
It's not Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
He does sing Beauty and the Beast.
Peebo does, doesn't he?
Wait. Somewhere out there, Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. I'm just seeing fine stuff. And then now James Ingram and Celine Dion are singing Beauty and the Beast. Okay, here we go.
All right.
You're right.
Now you talk about a jam. Is that that Linda Ronstadt and where's that from? The dinosaur movie, Land Before Time. Movie. Listen, you know the one where he's staring up at the beneath the pale blue sky.
Yeah, that's somewhere out there.
Somewhere
out there.
If love can see us through.
Love can see us through. He was holding it down back then.
Who was in the room talking about,
I know who can do this.
Linda Ronstadt.
Two people that just get it popping.
And James Ingram.
It. This is my joy for the week now too. It's trumped. This is and there's something important about it. You got to be ready to change your attitude and mindset at the drop of a dime. You got to be ready to embrace joy. This thing just brought me joy right here.
And this could go on for hours. We're gonna nip this in the butt because this could be your whole show today.
Listen, people asked that too. You're like, y'all don't have no script. I was like, script?
No. You know what?
It's like y'all just pretending looking at the computer. I was like, a little bit.
Let me tell you something though.
You don't have a script.
A coworker of mine said to me, I am amazed at how in sync you all are. I said, sis, us too. We be like,
you see how I respond when you get in here and start finishing my sentences.
We are moved by it too.
I am also. So, that's both of our joy for the week. We don't need to belabor another joy.
That's fine.
Because this was it.
We got it.
This was it.
So we are continuing our series on attitude and mindset.
Attitude and mindset is a set of ways you choose to think and feel about things and how it is reflected and manifested in your personality. It is how your worldview is manifested in your personality and behavior.
Yep. So last week we asked the question, what does your attitude and mindset tell you about you? Right? And we mentioned some things that you kind of should not do so that you can keep a healthy mindset about yourself.
All right. So this week we're going to talk about the things you should do to keep a healthy mindset.
Yes. So we're going to dive right into it. Do more of these things. First and foremost, satisfy your joy.
Oh. Satisfy your joy. Come
Listen,
on and satisfy it.
This is a big one. And you can do this in the midst of whatever you have going on. Let me give you an example of this. Last week we were on a time crunch. I don't know if you noticed last week that we had some little interludes and stuff put into the episodes last week. And that was actually because we had some technical difficulties, right? And so because we were on a time crunch, I had to stay up all night and put this together so that I could get it out on time. And so you know what I said? I'm going to do all of that at Jeju. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to relax. I'm going to sit in a calming environment while I do this. And when I'm done, I will go get a massage and a body scrub. Mm-hmm. And then I'll take it on home.
You satisfied your joy.
I satisfied my joy, even in the midst of having to get work done, even though I was a tad bit frustrated and had to call Joy, John, Jason and be like, I don't know how to fix this. But all of it worked out. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of even everything just going haywire, satisfy your joy.
Satisfy your joy. Know what your joy is, right? Yep. And it doesn't have to be huge, right? Mine is literally laughter. Sometimes I have to pause and just insert laughter into a moment. That satisfies my joy. It fortifies me to keep going, whatever the situation.
So I found this meme online, and it said, "Why I spoil myself as a Black woman. I thought I would get to an age and folks would just adorn me, romantically, platonically, professionally, but that's false. Everywhere I have to work and defend myself and fix things and try to matter. So when I earn money, I repair myself."
Listen, that's really good.
Okay.
That's really good. I even want her to stop calling it spoiling herself.
Well,
showing up and being authentic, taking care of yourself, saying no sometimes, getting paid for what you're worth. That's not spoilage.
Correct. Yes. So this is one of the things that you can do in order to put yourself in a healthy mind state. Satisfy your joy. Next up.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Reframe your perceived flaws. And we're gonna underline, we're gonna put in bold and italics perceived, because remember, this is your take on yourself, right? But reframe them. Instead of saying, I'm not that smart, right? I'm stupid. I'm not going to be able to get this done. I am better at this particular task than this one. I have some challenges here. Let me ask for some help. Mm-hmm. Right? Reframe how you look at things that you have decided are flaws. And I say that sentence very, very poignantly, that you've decided are flaws. Remember, everything is in relation to something else. Anything that we
all of it is relative.
Right. We consider distasteful, we think is ugly, we think is unattractive, we think is less than, it's because we've compared it to something else. And some things do deserve, critique and improvement. But how can you reframe that so now you're excited about working on it instead of sitting and sulking about it existing in you?
Yeah. And I'm going to take it a step further, because it is perceived, because we are the ones that are determining whether it is a flaw or not. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if it's something physical, we're going to stop talking down about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. If it's something that we got, there's nothing I can do about this, then we're going to stop seeing it as a flaw. And we're going to find our ways to accept, to celebrate, to be at peace with it. If it's something that we can fix, then we're going to go out and do the work. Put the energy into the work to fix it if it bothers you that much. Mm-hmm. But don't spend all your time and your effort looking in a mirror talking down to yourself. Time wasted. You get nothing from that.
Wishing that you were something else, right? Wishing that your wonderful spirit came in a different package. It came in the package it was given for a reason.
For a reason.
Reframe that.
Yes. All right. Now, this is another one. This is a big one that I've been thinking about lately. Use different language. I was at physical therapy the other day, and there are two therapists in particular that are that I work with, and there's another one who he just kind of knows who I am from seeing me when I come in, and they started me on some new exercise. They gave me a 10-pound kettlebell and put it on my foot.
Ooh.
And I had to bend it.
Oh, God.
It was to work my Achilles, right? And so I was like, this is hard, y'all. And he just walked by real chill and he said, positive in, positive out. I said, wait a minute. Are you gonna use my stuff on me?
Absolutely.
He said, I'm just telling you. Whatever you tell yourself is what this is
what
about
it's going to be. Yeah. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, it's an impossible challenge. Wow, what an amazing challenge.
Look at this opportunity to get better.
Absolutely.
Nadia, one of the interns, she did it the other day. She put at the bottom of something, she said, instead of saying it's to die for, she said it's to joy for.
I loved it.
I love it.
It's to die for. It's to joy for.
Listen, just change your words because they have meaning. And especially if you're standing in a mirror and you're saying these words to yourself, if this is your internal message that's going on every day, oh, you got to change them words. Them words have got to be, you have to speak power unto yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure that even in your opportunities where you felt that you didn't show up as your best, that you're speaking growth unto yourself. You know, that you're giving yourself another opportunity. Pat yourself on the back before anybody else does. I had an errant thought the other day. I was just sitting and I was thinking and I was like, you know what? I'm really proud of me for figuring all of this technology stuff out, because 2 months ago, I did not know any of this. But then this is what I did. I stopped myself and was like, oh, you shouldn't be that arrogant. And then I said, self,
go ahead with all that.
Go ahead with all that. This is my time. I
sure can celebrate.
I can surely.
I sure can.
If it would come out of my mouth to celebrate somebody else, it can come out of my mouth to celebrate me.
I sure would.
Yes.
I left her a message the other day and I was like, listen, I'm sketchy on a couple of things. I'm going to be late to your faculty meetings. You know, but baby, I'm going to teach.
She said that she did.
Run up on this teaching though. I be to teaching. Hey.
If I don't do nothing else.
If I don't do anything else.
Yes. That's
now,
a word.
Listen, am I going to
grade
to do at 5 and I'm turning them in at 4:45? Yes. That's
4:49 even.
That's good. That's good. That's happening. But Dr. Bell going to teach that class. She does it. She sure does. If I saw myself, I'd be like, wow, what a teacher.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to say that. In fact, I'm going so far as if you struggle with this, then, I mean, literally find synonyms. And if you're using negative language, find antonyms. You know what I'm saying? Like, find what's the opposite of the thing I'm saying?
Yep.
Write it on Post-it notes and put it in places where you're going to see it. Put it on your mirror. So when you are washing your face and brushing your teeth, you see these words of affirmation to yourself.
That is
Change
absolutely
your
correct.
language. And until it's part of your discourse, until it's part of your regular language about yourself, you might have to remind yourself literally to shift that language.
Until it gets to a point that someone else tells you about you and you just start, no, that ain't it. Because I'm gonna tell
and
you
even
what,
if it is
or yeah, I might struggle with that, but let me tell you what I can do. Whatever.
it doesn't break you then to get correction. It strengthens you. You look to have it. Hi, do you have any correction for me?
Yes.
Because I'm just looking to take my
Yes.
awesome to awesomer.
You know, this is incredibly true. Of my best teachers, when I come in, of course, when I come in and I observe them, the good teachers want their feedback immediately. Like when I'm on my way out of the door, I have a teacher at one school, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore will find. Got any words?
What'd
for
you
me?
think?
You got do I need to improve in any way? Because here's the thing, because that man is teaching and he knows it. So all I'm doing is fine tuning. He is aware of his strengths. It's the ones that really feel insecure about it that are like, well, I don't want to know what you. Yes, you do. You want to know it too, so that you can get to a place where you are at peace with it also. We've got to shy away from that idea that somebody critiquing us is insulting us. What if they care enough to just make us better?
Care enough to pay attention to you enough and to know what your goals are, to say, hey, here's a way to meet that goal that I know you've been trying to meet. And even if their intention is poor, the critique they give you can still make you higher, can still take you somewhere. So what's his intention of saying? So it doesn't matter.
Yep.
I'm not broken by critique because, right, I've already given myself the pep talk.
Yes. But if the words hurt, use different language.
Yep. Use different language.
Figure out the way that you can hear it, that it can be meaningful. That's all we're saying about that.
Absolutely. Aim higher. Now, I don't want you to hear this. You know, we're very careful about not tipping over into kind of toxic positivity and that perfectionism and, you know, getting to this place of like, you know, just find joy and just have flowers, you know, just without. But we have convinced ourselves that optimal isn't possible. You can live optimally. What we have told ourselves is if we are barely making it, if we just get in survival mode, that's good enough. And then we wonder why we don't have joy. Joy is higher.
Yes, it is.
But you have to believe I can get even higher. I say this all the time and I believe it. I'm just keep saying it to myself until it happens, right? I am discovering a way to make more money and work less.
Tonight.
Listen, this grind culture, you just got to work more to make more. I will not. No. First of all, how can I work any more than I'm already working? Absolutely not. There is a way to have time with my daughter, to spend time with my parents, to spend time with friends and family.
To travel.
There's time to travel. To
eat
sit
tacos.
there and do nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing.
On my couch to binge watch something.
To learn to play the piano.
To learn a language. There is time for that. And also time for me to be excellent in my career paths and be compensated for that.
And that's real
excellence.
Good that you said that.
It can all happen.
Not and work. No. I still want to be excellent in my work. But there's got to be space to be excellent everywhere.
Right. But we don't aim high. We think if we can just touch and just stretch ourselves thin, there's always something. If you've ever worked with a financial planner, that's such a sobering moment, right? Because you think you have scrimped and saved everywhere. You think you found it all. You got to invite somebody else in and then be like, this right here, you're not watching Showtime.
That's real good. They find coins.
You just put it together. You just put, look, this is my monthly, streaming service bills. You're not watching Showtime. And what are you watching on Stars? That right there? Oh, no. That ends up going over to Netflix afterwards. You're not watching it real time anyway. Take that out. How did you just take me $45 a month? But do you see what I'm saying? Aim higher. Believe that there is something even greater. Yes, you can. I can't work out. I don't have time.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
There's something that you got to find.
Were you on Facebook today? How many minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. No judgment. But we have to believe that there's this better way that we can be. right? There's this more optimal way that we can exist. If we don't think it exists, then of course we won't find it.
That is correct.
That's where you see all that
We won't aim
negativity.
for it.
Right.
We just, we'll live these really mundane lives and think this is what I put all this effort and work into having. No, it's not.
No. You'll settle for stuff in relationships. You heard what I just said. Ain't nobody out there gonna be this, and this. It's tens, thousands of people out here that are that, and that, and this, and that, and the other thing.
And
you're not thinking
I'm on my way to find them.
Yeah, I'm awesome, so I deserve somebody awesome. I'm gonna find awesome out here. Aim higher.
This is the thing. How you believe you're awesome? You just feel like you out here awesome by yourself,
and not another soul is as awesome.
Nobody
as you.
else can match
a whole gender of other people are not.
Get out of here. Get out of here. He's out there, and I'm looking for him.
Listen,
you got to believe.
A whole group of nobody else is awesome. Nope, they out there. Aim higher.
Matter of fact, you got a whole crew of them.
Believe it's possible.
All these people exist that are awesome too, but not somebody that you want to date.
Come on,
get out of here.
Stop it.
Get out of here.
Believe.
Aim higher and believe.
Believe
it's
that it is
possible. There are things, I tell her this all the time. Not last year, but what was it? 2021, after that horrible year that I had, I said, my word for this next year is thrive. Let me tell you something.
Not just make it. My word is enough.
Just making that my word, y'all. When I look at where I was one calendar year ago, it would blow your mind if I told you my story. Like, it just doesn't make sense the ways that things just manifested for me, because I believed, I'm going to get here. I've been right here, and it's been comfortable. It's been okay. I want to know what it feels like to be up here. And now I know, and I'm still climbing.
You ever see other people who are up there? I think something, I like to throw out little tidbits about like what to do, you know what I mean? Like make yourself some post-it notes, but also like, keep company with folk who are on that high level. Because you have to meet someone. I remember going there was just a great psychologist that was a friend of a friend. She didn't know me and I didn't know her. And when my friend was like, yeah, my girl's coming in town. She's in Texas doing it big. I was like, what time y'all going to lunch?
Yep, I want to be there.
What time? I'm coming. I'll move my stuff around. I don't care the food. Do you like Indian? I like what you two are going to eat and discover how I'm going to go higher. That's what I like. I want to
be in the presence of greatness.
I'm going to come and get this wisdom because I believe it's possible. I saw it on somebody. And I didn't get jealous and say, oh, no, that's her. No, that means if she got it, I can. I sure can.
That's absolutely correct. So now let's move on to this next one. This one takes me out
every time.
See the letdowns as opportunities for come-ups.
We said that last week. Come on.
Your curse might be your blessing.
When I tell you.
Here's the thing, y'all. We don't have the sight that whatever you consider the creator, the higher being, Allah, your Oris, whomever, we don't have that sight. So we don't have those answers. You're out here thinking, but this is what I wanted and this is just what I know. If I don't have this, life is not going to be what I set out to make it. I promise you. I promise you, there are things that you have never even considered.
You haven't even thought about. You out here thinking the universe is conspiring against you. It is conspiring to give you exactly what you want and need.
The universe conspires to give you all your greatest joy.
Your greatest joy.
Aim higher. Believe it.
Yep.
You've got to.
The very thing you think you've been cursed with. Thank God or whomever you talking about out here that thing happened. It truly, I didn't get this job and so I had needed to stay in Atlanta. What was waiting for you in Oklahoma? You know why? That's why the
gonna
job
take
didn't
you
happen.
out.
Really think
Yeah.
about it. Sometimes it's such a coincidence. Like I kept trying to get it. I applied 15 times, didn't get it. And then there was this and then you didn't get the hint. That wasn't for you.
Was not.
She wasn't for you. Okay. I'm not gonna
Let me tell you something. I spoke a little
You
bit
keep trying to
last
get
week
somebody.
about
Universe like, yeah, not her.
my whole career and trajectory and how I got all these promotions. The last teaching job that I had right before I got those promotions was a letdown for me because I had wanted to go back to the district I had been with. I had wanted to work under a particular person. And I found out that district would no longer fire me or hire me because of whatever had gone down. And so I was heartbroken. But I'm going to tell you about this letdown. When I sat in that parking lot on that first day of school and cried, that letdown led me to have a principal who said, "You're amazing. You need to go into administration." I still have friends to this day. We have together climbed up a ladder. I came to a place where I knew nothing. I knew no one. I thought to myself, 15 years of my career is just gone because nobody knows me. You know what it gave me? The opportunity to start brand new.
Yeah.
And now from day
Expand your
one,
circle.
I get to be excellent and they just see me as excellent. They
I
didn't
love
have to watch me grow.
I love it.
I arrived
They
excellent.
met you grown. That's so good.
I was open by the end of that school year. I was open to opportunities I never would have considered for myself.
That's so good. This really causes us to stop for a second and even look at why we desperately cleave. You know what I mean? Like, what are these things we hold on to that seem to be stay out of our reach? And if we stop for a second, just stop for a second and say, is it because it brings me joy? Why do I want this thing so
Is it because it brings me
desperately?
joy or I've
Does
just
it
become
bring me
comfortable?
joy, or do I think I'm going to be rich doing it? Does it bring me joy, or I would love for people to see me having this thing? Does it bring me joy, or I need to address my loneliness? Does it bring me joy? Our t-shirts today say, if it ain't joy, I
don't want it. I don't want it.
Literally, and that's a tough prayer to make because I believe when you claim a thing now, listen,
the Creator will come for you.
And drop it right on. And I am bold enough to say, if it doesn't bring me joy,
I don't want it
right now. If it does not bring me joy, remove it.
And that means
that's okay.
that things will start dropping. By the time this day ends, things will just be...
Something will disappear, but then something will reappear.
And then you will realize later, wait a second, that wasn't bringing me joy. Wasn't that the day I made that prayer? Okay.
That was something you were using to get your mind off the thing that would have brought you joy. It just was a lot of work. You want to repair that relationship with your mother. You want... right? There are some things that would bring you joy, and you are just spinning around, kind of tiddling around with some things that you have decided, let me just put my mind on this instead of doing the work on this thing. Ask for it to be removed. I don't want it.
Yep.
I don't want a time filler. I don't want a space. I don't want to just fill up a gap. I want joy. I want joy.
There's this, this makes me think of this, NDRE verse. She says, I prayed for God's will to be done. The very next day you were gone. Oh, listen.
God's will. And I woke up before I thought. I prayed for peace and then I couldn't find your number. I asked to smile continually and not cry so much.
And that joker left in the middle of the night. Listen, that's real good. Your letdowns will become come-ups.
It's your opportunity to be awesome. I'm sorry. I don't know why that just hit me like that.
That thing will hit you.
I prayed
for God's will to be done. Woke up
I
the
couldn't
next day,
find
you
none
was
of your little shirts
gone.
in the all them little hairs used to leave just on the sink. That's all gone.
The name of the song is Good Morning. Morning, Mourning.
That's
Please
really
don't think that
good.
means say Grand Rising to me, because I don't want it. But
Please.
what I am saying, good morning. I'm gonna mourn this loss because it's not what I was supposed to have, y'all. I thought it was, but my sight is limited.
Own that sight is limited, please.
And so therefore, there is a possibility that this letdown could be a come up. You don't know how badly a letdown will make you hustle harder.
But you don't know how the other things that you should be kind of thinking about and being grateful for, they were made possible by the letdown. The thing that you're saying, man, I wish that would never have happened. You've seen those shows before where they try to change time and they're like, I wish I could get rid of this. And then they realize I wouldn't have my kids. Wait, I didn't say that. You know what I mean? Like whatever this thing is, it could even be something. I could really go there. You wish that you were the most beautiful person in your high school. Your choices might have been poor if that was the case. Good thing.
Ooh.
Good thing you wouldn't. You got 100 PhDs and all this stuff like that now because you weren't.
We talking good today, y'all.
Because you weren't. That thing that you thought you wanted so badly would have opened. You would have gotten tempted to go a direction you weren't supposed to go into. Listen.
That's a word.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to move on before we just go too far.
We ain't
and
got
have
to.
a whole,
We can stay right here.
Listen, a whole church service is right in here.
I'm telling you, that thing about a letdown becomes a come up. You don't know of a single
the reframing we're talking
successful
about.
person that won't tell you that is true.
Yeah. But like literally reframe it. We're not, okay, you know, I know when we talk, sometimes it sounds esoteric. I'm saying like write down the things you're thinking, this is terrible. And then really think, why can this possibly have been a benefit to me? How can this be a benefit? Before you go into it, I'm going to my job interview. I really want to get this job. How can not getting it, though, benefit me? You've already thought about how benefit to change. We've already done that part. How can not getting it possibly be something awesome for me?
What are you going to do next
leave,
then?
Right. When you leave the interview, whether I get it or not, I know joy is in the future for me.
Yep. And so what do I need to do next?
What do I need to do
If I don't get this, what do I do next?
What am I doing
If I
now?
do get this, what do I do next? Let's be prepared for whatever it is. But
Yeah.
what we know we're going to have is joy.
We're going to have this joy.
That's the prize.
So for this next thing, I've said this before, right? And I think I even said this here. You know, I think about how we have a friend that keeps her house absolutely stellar. Shout out Umi Nazapa, Margot Davis. I am telling you that if like I dropped a plate of food at her house, I'd pick it up and eat it. Oh, without hesitation. I'd pick that food up and eat it, right? And the reason why is because she keeps her home. It's obvious the kind of care that she takes into it, right? And what I realize, right, is that other people honor her home.
That's
our same
it.
guests. We won't mention names, right? The same folks at her house. They'll drink out of something and wash the glass immediately and put it back up. Why? Because they see how she cares for it. In my house, they'll leave a glass right there with the other 2 glasses I left. You must want a set of these right here on your coffee table in the living room. Because we already see. But I'm saying that to make a point, right? That which you value, you will honor and protect. If you are taking care of your car better than you are taking care of your body, then you are taking care of your personal space, your mental space. It's always, and again, you know, as a psychologist, it's funny that people will pay somebody. I won't do my own eyebrows, but this mental health, I'm going to DIY that.
wow.
I think I won't paint my own toenails. I will make sure I go to an expert to make sure that my toenails are painted. But my mental health, I'm going to just, I don't know. I'll let that go by the
That's real good.
You will?
You know what? Fully value you.
Fully value yourself.
That which you value, you honor and protect. People can look at you and tell if you don't honor and protect you. I am talking about from the rooter to the tutor. You can give any example. You are out here wondering, well, why does he treat me this way? He watched you treat you that way.
And you didn't say anything the first time. This is not an excuse for somebody to treat you poorly, by the way.
And I'm not shaming you.
That is not a justification.
I am not shaming you. What I'm saying, I've been there.
It's something, right? We've all been there. It's something to really look at. And before I even start to go external and talk about what other people might be doing, am I fully valuing me?
Well,
why do people keep asking me to do all these little things? Have I demonstrated that I value my time?
This is real good. She told me she and I have recently recognized like what we give in our places of business cannot be duplicated by anybody. Nobody else can come in and do what we do. I dare you. I dare you to come in and do at the level that we work, right? And so then you can't keep putting things on my desk. You can't keep asking me to be somewhere at a certain time. You can't keep asking me to do things that are going to dishonor me.
Yeah.
So what we've decided is no.
Nope. Because I value what I bring in. You do too. You're just trying to see if you can,
You want to see how far can I push
How far can I push it, right? And we have decided, let me tell you how far. Back here. Back there.
That line. Ooh,
and
you went too far.
To get
this line was it was right here.
Maybe we can dig a hole and go under the fence.
No.
Nope.
I caught that one too.
Nope.
No. Back it up.
Fully valuing you, and this can be tricky. Listen, this can be tricky. You might be. We're talking about being home with your parents and still fully valuing yourself. Okay, like how do you honor? I'm gonna honor my father, but also, he can't talk to me any kind of way now.
And we can say that, and we can say that with respect,
right?
Respectfully, sir. I
love you and me.
And
I love me. So
I am asking for some things to shift.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Honor and protect yourself like you fully value yourself.
But because we're talking about mindset, it's really important that you do this at the decision-making level.
Yep.
I'm not talking about before we present ourselves. This is no. I'm saying that when we think to ourselves,
that's good.
Do I get up and work out or do I sleep in 15 more minutes? I don't know. Is that taking care of you?
Which one is taking care of you?
Does that show that you value you?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Listen, I'm actually talking to myself, y'all. Mm-hmm. You can just not mind me because I am over here.
Conversation
listen, I'm looking me in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, at our decision-making levels, show
where it has to happen.
That I am valuing and honoring myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that others start to. You ever look at somebody else and be afraid to ask them to do?
Yes.
Because you know their boundaries.
That's so good. And for years, nobody was afraid to ask me anything. Can I have $2 million? And then also, I need you to bring it over to my house at like 2 a.m. I want you to put it in your car that you're going to loan me for the next 2 weeks. What? What would even make you think to ask? And I realized there's people they didn't even think to ask.
Yep.
There's some people who are like, they didn't think to ask because their boundaries are clear.
Yep.
I joined that.
Yep. And so you have to, in your decisions, you have to boldly assert, oh, this is who I am. Mm-hmm. This is how I value and I honor me. Mm-hmm. And I want you to watch me do this for myself so that you know not to bring anything raggedy to me.
And that you can get a note about how to do yourself this way too. Both of us have daughters, right? We want them to see not a woman run down, kind of that classic superwoman just doing too much, working till she passes out. We don't want them to get that message. We want them to see what it looks like to value the self.
And in fact, I see it all over my own child. There are times where she will announce a thing. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like,
that's right.
I raised that.
That's good.
She's real clear. I didn't have that clarity at that age. I'm real glad that the next generation has got it
different. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not mad about that. These millennials, when I tell you that they will
It's
do
Generation
this thing,
Z. Yeah, that's that next one after millennials for me. No.
when I say that they will tell you, oh
They'll be
yeah,
like,
no, I'm
"No,
not. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that."
we gonna put that down
Mm-hmm.
with a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel any. Wait, we could learn something from that though,
Yeah.
because
I'm not gonna be abused.
now there are some other things that they have like social media and stuff that keep them from joy. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But they will put their foot down and they will say,
That's your bad.
that's not, I'm not going to spend my
It's
time
not
doing
inside
that.
my job description.
Next.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to do that too.
Yeah. How can we tell? Like because I do think sometimes, I think people believe they might have a positive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Other people would disagree. And if they did some self-analysis, they might also disagree. But because they're just moving and not really sitting with themselves for too long and kind of analyzing themselves clearly, how do we know when we don't necessarily have the most positive mindset? What's our checkup?
Okay. If you have a positive mindset, you keep yourself encouraged.
That's so good.
Yourself.
Yep.
If you are in a room by yourself, if you are by yourself when you found out that there was some kind of letdown coming, if you were able to pick yourself up and say, that's all right, we're going to brush this off, we're going to get through it. Mm-hmm. Even if we take a moment to be upset about it, that's fine. I know my come up is coming. If you tell you that, then you're probably on your way to having a positive mindset.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. And even if you needed help, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's you also keeping yourself encouraged, knowing who do I call to get?
Yes, because I want to stay in a state of encouragement. I don't want to fall. Mm-hmm. I don't want to wallow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I think you also you become good at building up your own self-confidence. It is not just the praise or the compliments from other people. You have learned to build it. Right. Mm-hmm. And we talk about working out because again, we talk about it a lot because that's our own Achilles heel. You know what I mean? We would much rather just like have tacos and margaritas and lay than do like one push-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just by far. Right. So what do we do then to really say, hey, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead on. I celebrate even the small, if I do 5 squats, go girl. Because it's 5 more squats than I did. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Like you really have got to build your own self-confidence. Now, many people are going to disagree. I don't want to make any enemies, but my workout music even does that. It says that there's like, it's a whole playlist. It starts with Lil Kim. That's fine. Okay. I understand people disagree. Just, nope. Argue with your mama. Fight me now.
Baby, it's a big mama thing.
It's the beat. How does that song start? What? I got it going on. What? Now I understand the next set of lyrics. That also builds me up. But I mean, I'm good at many things.
We can make that gospel too. I used to be scared of Jesus. Now I throw praise to him. Now I throw praise to the thing. Handle it like a real saint.
Take it to the altar. Yes. What? Listen, we're about to get boycotted. This is it. We were doing well. Oh, we were doing fine.
So good.
We were doing fine on the Joy Arts, and now we're going to be. Now we're gonna be boycotted.
Now you know who we really are.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe we'll get popular that way. We'll go. These
that OnlyFans. We just
keep on creeping into the rough. Okay. But honestly, I do that to build my own self-confidence. I really do. I listen to certain songs and I'll be like, yes, that's me. Go ahead. I'm not joking. It's really right there on my playlist. That's fine. But there's things that I do to build it, right? There's my self-care rituals actually build my self-confidence because I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself when I do like a beauty routine at night and I wash my face with all the little 10,000 little products and put the little ointments on. You know what I'm saying? Like it says to me, I take time.
I value me.
Right. I value me and I take time to love myself. I'm worthy and look at me. Hey. And you really have to be your own cheerleader at different times. Not only, right? You want to have your other cheerleaders too, but be your own. Celebrate yourself. Sometimes say, hey, listen, go ahead. I'm telling you, she knows. I left that message because I left my classroom like, I dropped the mic.
Listen, she was on one.
I was like, doing it.
If I don't do nothing else.
she
meant
teach.
that.
Now,
And she does.
No telling what's going to happen in Dr. Bell's class, but you finna get taught.
You finna get taught. Yeah.
You're going to walk out with this good information. That is what's going to happen.
Yes.
And I've taken time, and I think both of us have struggled with that just vulnerably over the years, either not being confident enough in particular areas or relying on the input of others to build that self-confidence instead of our own take on ourselves, our own mindsets being the source.
Yes. It has been very beautiful to watch that growth in both of us. Just the way that we can just be by ourselves and have peace with and shout ourselves out.
Yep.
There was a time.
Listen, making food and be like, stop, you better stop. Kanika, you bet your butt at it. You ever make food and be like, somebody else should eat this because I've outdone myself. I've just done a thing. Go ahead. I mean, just even in small ways, remind yourself that you're awesome. Right? Build your self-confidence. Yourself.
Another way you know that you have a positive mindset, you deal with stress in healthy ways. Listen, stress is coming.
This is good. This is good.
We need a little song.
We need a little song. Because this is really how you know. I mean, this is the litmus test, right?
Yeah.
When stressful situations happen,
because they're coming. They are coming. Right. Now, anybody who knows me, I am a crier. I cry all the time, though. Like, I cry. You show me a Hallmark commercial and I'd be like wailing. Like, I mean, wailing. And then I'd be
get
like,
a new puppy.
Okay, what we going to eat?
Compliments.
I will, at the drop of a dime, I will cry for anything. I feel the full gamut of emotions always. But that's the thing. I'm always able to come back to the center. And that's what it's really about. Stress is going to hit you.
But that's the healthy. You crying is you being vulnerable.
I feel it all.
And wearing your heart the way that it actually beats, just being
at the
yourself.
Fullest
right?
level.
That's a healthy way. Like, listen, this is how I'm processing it. And then it's done, it's out, and I move.
It's out and I move on. I was nervous about this thing. Ooh, I got to cry real quick. And then I'm done.
And now I'm moving forward.
And now I'm going to do work. Now I've spent a healthy amount of time on the worrying about this thing. And now, but when we stay in the valley, y'all, some of us, we stay right
We don't
there.
even know that's where we dwell. We don't even know that's why we dwell. People starting to avoid us and things like that. We don't even know why. It's because you don't handle stress in healthy ways. People are tiptoeing around you because you don't handle stress in healthy ways. That's your sign that you have a positive mindset. Stress comes and we respond positively.
And you say, you know what? This is a rough one. Ooh, come on, let's go. Let's deal with it.
I'm not lesser than because of it.
This isn't going to take me under.
I'm not ruined because of whatever it is.
I may need to take 3 days. Give me 3 days, y'all, and then come get me. That's okay to say, too. I think that this is worth me having 3 days, y'all. What you think? Okay, we're going to give you 3 days. All right.
Or I may dip a little bit for a long time. I know I tell clients, when they're bereaved, especially, they're like, well, when am I just going to be over this? I said, 5 years from now, a commercial or your phone is going to remind you of something. I was telling my client this who lost her father recently. And I said, it's going to be years and it'll just be Christmas time or something like that. And you might cry again. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're not over it. That means you're a human being and a memory was triggered. Go ahead and cry about the memory because that man meant a lot to you, right?
You should cry.
That's still you handling stress and healthy.
Yes.
Yep. Another way to know is that you develop a joyful personality. I will have to say that's one of my favorite compliments. It really is. Right? Yeah. Students, friends, just different people. You are joyful. Sometimes people say it right on first meeting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can be like at faculty meeting and just talking to like the new financial aid person. They'd be like, you're joyful. You're a jolly individual. Thank you.
I will say that when I sent out the text messages when we were dropping the Joy RX, our entire village, every single one, texted back, there are no two better people.
There was no part, no
There are
hesitation.
nobody was
They
like,
were like, yep, call that thing Joy RX.
Mm-hmm. It was like it clicked for every single person. They were like, yeah. No one was confused. I wasn't out here trying to sell you a weight loss plan. I was telling you about something I knew.
I got out of the bag. Something I mastered.
This is my thing. Okay.
I got this. I got this.
Every single time, though, when people say to us, like, I see it all over you. When you all get together and the ways that you all, we had a sister, our sister Akila, class of 97. She sent us the loveliest message. She just dropped in our DMs. I mean, I hollered crying.
She wept openly because that's what she does. She wept and wept.
And she said, I just watched you all. Literally, we were on a dance floor. There was music playing and everyone was dancing except us. We were on the dance floor acting out scenes and laughing.
Screaming laughing.
My knee was busted. I could barely walk. I had a hoodie on. Everybody's out here cute. We were in the middle of that dance floor, hollering, crying, laughing. And she said she watched us and she said, y'all's joy reminded me that someday she was going through some pain in her life. She said that someday I'm going to get back to that place too. It's encouraging. When you have a joyful personality, people will tell you. They want to be around you.
Listen, it really says something about the positive mindset. I have a colleague who was like, I just don't know, it's something annoying about people just bubbly, all the time. And I was like, do you mean me?
She's like, you talking about me?
No, not you, Dr. B. I like it. You're delightful. And I was like, oh. Right. But I think, it's the things we've mentioned. You are going to effervesce a little bit. If you keeping yourself, if you're keeping yourself encouraged, if you are building your own self-confidence, if you are dealing with stress healthily, if you are looking to find the joy, if you're taking your letdowns and turning them into come-ups, you don't scowl often.
You don't. Ooh.
It's not that it never happens,
yes,
but you don't do it often. My daughter is 8 and we do these funny YouTube quizzes, right? They have these little personality quizzes or like guess the logo quizzes, stuff like that. And so we did this personality quiz and hers came out and she was talking about like anger and she was thinking to herself, am I ever angry? And I work with so many small children that are so angry. Like, how are you this angry? 5, just explosive. I've never seen it. I've never seen my daughter angry, and all teachers ever say that about her. She had to think for herself, like, anger? Like, I can be disappointed in something, but not anger, But I like to think that she sees a demonstration of at least a woman who attempts to keep a positive mindset, and that's just been what she's been exposed to. She just doesn't. She's not an angry child.
I love that.
She's a solution. She's like, well, let's try to fix it.
Go on, Zuri Lou.
Go on, Zuri.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you for today.
Yes.
Let's finish up with
Joy
our
Journal.
Okay. Let's go for it. I'm going to let you share this one because this is your people.
Yes, Dr. Kim Epting. She's actually left a couple of messages for her, which is really amazing. She is an outstanding psychologist and a really, well-known one. I mean, she's like, people go to conferences and she's like the president, So like for her to take time and look at joy in her specific, area is kind of this of behavioral psychology that really talks about, basically reinforcing things that you want to see. In yourself and in behaviors. And so she's really gotten behind our Joy Project. And so she posted, not to grandize us anyway. This was on her own page. She was like, if you're interested in understanding more about joy and you want to laugh a lot while doing so, check out the Joy RX podcast. They have only made it through the first principle so far, and I've laughed so hard every week and been prompted to think about a lot of things in my life, perspective and more. Hashtag the prescription is working. Hashtag not toxic positivity. Hashtag laughter therapy. Thank you, Dr. Kim.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. This next entry, let me tell you, this is one of my favorite people in the universe. She is a NASA Hubble,
like a whole rocket science
telescope, rocket science.
That's not rocket science.
I'm not.
She's like, oh no, but I do rocket science. Yeah,
this is like what she actually does. And so the fact that she takes out the time to listen just blows my mind. But this was what she shared with us. She said, "Now for my joy this week, it's actually an embedded joy because I found it in y'all's podcast. It's Mari's teacher voice. I've never heard it before because I've never been around you in your professional space. But I know it because I have been taught by brilliant, loving, talented Black women educators all my life. It's an intonation plus rhythm plus diction that leads with power, authority, and clarity while rooted and covered in loving kindness and Black pride. You don't do it all the time, but it always sends me into this weird, multifaceted space that combines reminiscing on one of my fave elementary teachers. Shout out to Miss Green, the music teacher at Bunker Hill Elementary School in D.C.
Yes.
And feeling like my whole heart is being cuddled in a way that has me believing in my infinite potential and cackling to myself, saying, listen to this Bama Mighty. What the fuck she talking about all at the same damn time? And that's from
great. That's what we want.
My beloved Nzinga Tull. I'm giving a pelvic thrust right now in celebration of you. You know what's a little interesting tidbit is thank you for that shout out about my voice. She just learned recently. When I was younger, I was twice exceptional. I was gifted and I was special needs. I had a speech impediment.
Which sounds impossible. This right here
and
was impeded at some point. And
so shout out to my second grade speech teacher who gave you this, right? So, that's reframing those things that we've been nervous about and we're scared about. And I'm going to go and I'm going to show up anyway. Right.
I love it.
So thank you for joining us in our season of Attitude and Mindset.
And we really, really, really want you to join this joy revolution, people. Please be a part of our community of Joy Johns.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Till next time. We love to hear your stories about joy and how the podcast and joy movement are meaningful to you. Please submit to the Joy Journal at info@thejoyrxwebsite.com.
And please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at The Joy RX, and on Twitter and YouTube at The Real Joy RX.
If you love what you hear and see on this podcast, love us, and love joy, please rate, like, subscribe, follow, and share.
And if you want to get some fancy joy merch, letting everyone know you are part of the Joy RX movement, go to shopjoyrx.com.
Thank you for joining us.